In this video, we're going to demonstrate the use of the C# while loop. In the previous video, we studied how to use the for loop, but there's an important distinction why you'll want to use this style of iteration versus the for loop style of iteration. So what I've done to begin this is create a new project called 2305, and the console template has appeared here in our main area. We're going to go ahead and start typing by adding first our initializer. Then we'll add our while statement while I is less than 10. And then we'll add our curly braces. Now, whatever is between the curly braces will happen as long as I is less than 10. So what we'll do is something meaningful here, and we'll come back to that in just a moment. And we will then iterate or add another value to I. This, as you'll recall, is the incrementer from the previous video. So what we've done here is we've initialized I. We said as long as I is less than 10, continue to do something. So iterate through a number of times. But after you do something, increment I by 1. And so when we hit 10, it will be equal to 10. Therefore, this statement will evaluate to a Boolean value of false, and therefore will kick out of the statement, and we'll come down to the rest of the code within our method. So we have our initializer, our while statement, our condition, and our incrementer. And you'll notice that that's a common theme, even though those elements are placed in a little bit different spot from the for loop, that these are common. Now what's different from the while loop than the for loop is that the I is initialized outside of the while statement. Therefore, I is still accessible here, outside of your code, of the while statement. Unlike the for statement, where the initialized value of I is no longer accessible to the rest of your code. So for the purpose of our example, what we'll do is just print out the value of I to the command prompt. We'll save our project, and we'll compile it. And then we'll bring up our command window and navigate to the appropriate directory. All right, there we go. And we'll be able to see our 2305, and we'll execute it. And you'll notice that it increments from 0 to 9 and then kicks out of the loop. And just to make our point, we'll add one more line of code here at the bottom, which is another final line that will write the value of I is equal to, and then we will add I. We'll rebuild our solution, and we'll run this again. And you'll notice that the value of I is actually 10. And we have to ask ourselves, well, why is that? Because the last number got printed out here was 9. But as you'll see, what happens in our code is that we print a value, so the last value to get printed is 9. I is incremented to 10. We check here to see if 10 is less than 10, which it is not. It's equal to 10, and therefore it kicks out and prints the value of 10 to our console application. So I hope that makes the while loop a little bit more clear to you, and that you've learned a little bit more about C#. Thank you.